If you've ever screwed up plans because you've said next week meant that week started on Monday instead of Sunday, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. It is the midweek. It is hump day, but it is still a day for us to try and make money. We're going to go ahead and break it all down. Live Trading starts right now.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Good morning. Amanda, welcome. Thank you for your support and welcome to Zinger Nation. Good morning. Great to have you back. Jane, good morning. Curtis, good morning. Jonathan, good morning. Market Sniper, good morning. Carmen, hello. Ashan, hello. Dustin, hello. And everyone else that hasn't said it yet, hello and good morning. Hope you all are doing well. We do have a big day on deck here. Of course, we had Google and Tesla earnings last night. We're going to take a look at all of that and then Chipotle here tonight. Let's go ahead and bring on my main man to make some sense of this. My main man, I didn't even give you a name this time. 13, how are you doing here this morning?
Who am I? I'm doing just fine.
I'm going to let you answer that one. I'm going to let you answer
hello,
that.
folks.
Look at all the good morning energy we have here this morning. That's what I wanted to see out of you. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. We're all fired up.
We're all fired up here today. All right, let's go ahead and just get started then. We're going to start with the SPY as we always do. SPY looking a little weak here today. It looks like we were trying to ride that 20-day, but with those earnings and the SPY here in the pre-market, sure looks like we're in for a lower open. Will the dip buyers step in and take this back up? We shall see. If we take a look inside here, we'll get an idea of what some of those levels are. I'll be honest, 13, that 555 level that you've been telling us has reared its head every day. Now that we're moving away from it down here at 548, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see another 555 test or lower we go here? What say you?
Seems like we are headed lower. We're currently getting support from a previous all-time high at 548.62. I'm sorry, 62, 548.62, and that's providing support here in the pre-market. Actually, I think we're trading just slightly above it. I'll be watching for this level to fall. Beneath that, I have 545.18 as my next downside level here. Although there could be some support around the 547 handle. Just noticed that I had a line here from previous price action back in early July and late June. So we could see support in that area if we start trading lower. Ultimately, I think we are going to be seeing some newer lows compared to Friday's. We were down here where Friday's price action was. I think we're going to end up giving back the whole month. So
okay,
that's going to be at about. Let's see, what do we give that up at? I guess we'll call it that 545 area. Is where we could say that's given up the entire month. So I'll be looking for that. If we do get some upside activity, it'll be up towards the previous all-time high of 551.80.
Okay, really good stuff there with the SPY. Let's go ahead and break down the movers here today. We do have some of those small stocks that are up here today. Let's go ahead and break those down. Then we can roll through some of those earnings and any other charts that you folks want to see here. Let me flip over to my pre-market movers scanner here. We're going to start right at the top of the list with news. No, not NEWS news, ticker news, NUZE, November Uniform Zulu Epsilon. This stock here, popping huge this morning. We actually traded up towards 5. Looks like we stopped at just about 480s there, 490. Looking at the news here, all we really have are these insider transactions from yesterday. So 13, what are you seeing here with ticker NUZE?
Yeah, that 10% owner increasing their stake, I think, is what this is moving on. This has a 2.15 million share float. Didn't see any reverse split as of late or short interest of note. One thing I do see here with NUZE on the daily chart is that there is a gap that we're in the process of filling that takes it all the way up to about $5 before we fill. A little bit, maybe a little bit more, like maybe 5.10 or 15. But that's going to be the first upside target here is filling that gap. So NUZE to $5. After that, we might get a little bit of back and forth between 5 and 6. before ultimately going higher to 7. I think 7 is another upside target we might hit. But first, I want to see us take out 5 and get through that consolidation there from October of 23.
Okay. One thing I'll say here about news, keep in mind this stock is already up 330% here today. So if we're going to play for more upside here, we want to be really sure and have a plan in case that doesn't work. We frankly, for trading this specific name here today, would love to see a pullback to the VWAP. Remember, the smoke tuna creed by weakness, not strength and breakouts. That's what we're looking for. We'd love to see that here on news. Let's see if it pulls back. Really good stuff there. Okay. Next here is going to be drama, DRMA. Now, this is one that we've talked about before. We've actually have some trading experience with this one here before. You can see that this did pop a little bit yesterday, but actually turned negative. And then this morning in the pre-market, substantial volume flow, stock trading up towards 550, stopped at 541 there. We take a look here at the news on drama. Don't really have a lot, but we did notice that last Wednesday, July 17th, there was some data here about a phase 3 study. So 13, what do you have on this one?
Yeah, didn't see any news with this one. That last Wednesday news was a phase 3 enrollment update. And typically that's the kind of news that will move these small, low float biotechs. Didn't have that kind of movement on that day. It did kind of pop a little bit out of the gate, but it wasn't anything like what we're seeing today. So I think we may be getting a little bit of that as well. No recent reverse splits of any note, no short interest of any note. It's basically just kind of running on no news or late news. Oh, it's also got a 545,000 share float. So very low float, really easy to move around.
And as you can see here by the daily chart, very, very clear downtrend. So we'll see here on drama some delayed news or maybe a delayed reaction to news. This stock up 131% here this morning as well. So definitely want to be careful with some of these. As you can see in the pre-market, since that break beneath the VWAP, we have really struggled to get above and really kind of stay above the VWAP. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to watch for here today. Okay, next on the list here is going to be Pirs, P-I-R-S. This is Pieris Pharmaceuticals. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Pieris Pharmaceuticals shares are trading higher after the company announced that the company entered into a definitive merger agreement with Pavella Therapeutics. Okay, so we've got merger news here, but we don't have a specific buyout price. Looks like this traded up towards 16, came back in here around the VWAP. What do we make of this? They're a tradable setup here in Pirs today?
See, I'm not sure about that because I'd have to do a little more digging into this agreement that they've got here. It does have a 1.06 million share float, but the news here is that they are going to be merging with another biotech company called Pavella Therapeutics, and that's going to result in a new NASDAQ listed entity that's going to have 80.5 million in cash to help develop their novel skin disease therapies. So to me, I just want to kind of mention this one. I'm not sure that this is really going to provide us with many trade setups. It could, but I think this is something that it would be better for us to just kind of stay away from. If you want to trade it, go ahead. But I'm going to be treating more like a merger, or I'm sorry, not a merger, an acquisition, and just assume that this is already pretty much going to be as high as it's going to get. I think there's a little bit more risk trying to trade this one. So there's other things that we can look at and trade. This might give us the movement. It might not. I don't know. I'm not going to try to trade that uncertainty.
Okay. Good stuff there. I mean, we can always kind of wait it out, right? See if there is a potential trade here, see if there's any type of action and volume that confirms one of our trading thesis here. So no problem there waiting it out. I think I'm with you on that one as well. Next here on the list is going to be BBLG. This is Bone Biologics. And again, we don't have any fresh news here. The stock up 68%. Looks like it tried to go to 3 earlier in the pre-market here. Didn't quite do that. We're right beneath the VWAP, but we're setting up here for a VWAP test and perhaps a reclaim. Got anything here on BBLG?
No news on BBLG, just a 1.069 million share float. They did have 2 reverse splits in 2023 back in June and December. None this year that I saw. And the short interest isn't really anything to be worried about either. So this is kind of moving on no news. If there's a trade setup, of course, trade it how you will. Otherwise, I don't know where this goes. We just have to kind of look for levels, and I don't have those available at the moment, so I'll have to start putting those in.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just some couple of levels that really kind of jump off the chart for me here too, which has already kind of been tested. We actually reclaimed that earlier in the pre-market, but we used it as support more recently. Upside level here, 269, nice. And then maybe also 288. We'll see if we can make a move towards 3. Like you were saying, with no news catalyst here, this is really going to have to move on something else. Volume should be our key to telling us if that's going to work or not.
Well, I'll tell you that if we do break through 3, that I'd be looking at 315 as a potential upside target that might stop, the momentum. We'll have to see. 315 looks good to me, though.
Okay. Smoke Tuna adding here, BBLG has an offering pending, so factor that in to your plan as well. Okay, next here is going to be hot. This one we're all familiar with. We've seen this pop and drop and pretend and do all sorts of stuff, but it does actually provide setups for some scalps or for some day trades, so worth mentioning here. Hot Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company signed an agreement with LTS Therapy Systems to develop and manufacture HT-ALZ oral film prototype for Alzheimer's disease. So you're going to get your Alzheimer's PR there. We've seen this stock do this a bunch. This was a penny stock yesterday. It's flirting with dollar territory today. It's currently up 29%, just thereabouts. It was up a lot more than that earlier. We've seen enough of Hoth in the past to really kind of know how this trades. So we'll see if we get a setup here. But just remember, this is one that we have seen a whole bunch here. What do you got on Hoth?
This one has going to have the largest float of the ones we've covered so far. It's going to have a 5.32 million share float, moving higher on the news that they're going to be tapped to manufacture an Alzheimer's drug. But for me, I'm not sure how much we're going to get out of this one. I think maybe 150 to 170 is looking like that's possible. But I didn't really cover this one. To me, I just there's too many uncertainties about this one with me.
We've seen a lot of disappointment with the Hoth system in the past, and we might see that here again here today. So just kind of be prepared for that.
Yeah, I thought they spelled that on the outside.
I'm here for Star Wars quotes, folks. I'm about as big of a dork as you're going to get, so I'm here for that. Last one here to mention from the movers list, LITM. This is moving recently on a volume pop. This is Snow Lake Resources. I didn't see if there was any news here. Yes. Updates on the Black Lake Uranium Project. CEO announces completion of 100% acquisition option and plans for 2024 exploration program, including airborne survey and ground geophysics. Okay, that's popping LITM here up about 15%. I guess we'll see if this one gets rolling here, but that's what's going on. We're pulling pretty nasty. We actually took out that new high recently on this big volume candle, but now we're getting a reset here with that pull. We'll see how this does out of the open here. Okay, there are a couple other penny stocks you guys were mentioning. We normally don't cover penny stocks here, but we might as well just take a look at them because these do seem to be in play. First one here is SGMO. This has been trading up. This looks like this was just recently rejected here at 80, coming back into the VWAP. Catalyst here is Sangamo. Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the licensing partner Pfizer's 3-Affine trial evaluating 2 words I can't pronounce that met its primary endpoint. I'm just going to bail on that one. So you're getting a PR here for this therapeutic company, for this biotech company, but we'll see. It is a penny stock. We'll see if you guys have any type of plan for this. And the other penny stock that's getting mentioned here today is NIVF. This was a penny stock yesterday, popped here above $1.60, almost completely round tripped here. This is one that you definitely want to make sure this is basing first. Catalyst here. Shares are trading higher after the company announced steady progress in its due diligence efforts in a proposed reverse merger with Corvix Medical and anticipates completion by the end of August 2024. Not really sure where that would drive the stock 100%, but as you can see, it's pretty much round tripped it here. So this is what's going on with NIVF. Okay, let's go on over to the tool. Let's talk about a couple of things that are going to be on deck here today. I want to start with Chipotle, but I'm interested to hear what the group is also looking at. Got about 14 minutes here, so we should be able to cover plenty of stocks that you folks want to take a look at. One of the reasons that I want to take a look at Chipotle is because it reports earnings tonight. And you could make the argument that this is the biggest report we are going to get here today coming after hours. The other reason I'm bringing this up is because we are literally kissing the 200-day as we speak. So one of the things that we had talked about for a potential trade plan is to watch Chipotle to see what it does around its 200-day. Now, just because we actually touch that price doesn't necessarily mean that there is a buy to be had here. If you want to swing it off the 200-day, that's up to you. For me, I really want to see how this binary event treats Chipotle and what happens next year. I have no position for the Chipotle earnings. I don't anticipate I'm going to take one. If I do, I'll update you, but I don't anticipate it. What I'd rather see here is how does the stock behave? If we bounce off this 200-day, does that bounce look like it's going to hold? If we break below the 200-day, are we set up to recapture it? Right? Are we set up to recapture that 200-day? We've seen a couple of moves that have really moved after the 200-day reclaim. I think one of those was Home Depot. Indeed. So here we go. This was one where we talked about recently with this 346 trigger here. That's the horizontal blue line. You can see we had a number of things going on with Home Depot. We had this inverse head and shoulders. We had a reclaim of the 200-day. You can see it dropped beneath, tested it, and then once it reclaimed, boy, oh boy, Home Depot really shot. I want to see if Chipotle is going to have the same type of movement or the same type of behavior post earnings. My thought here is staying out of earnings just keeps me out of a binary event and allows me to trade this a little bit more tactically. You got anything on Chipotle? You got any feelings on the earnings, the stock, any of that? You getting Chipotle to celebrate the earnings print? What's going on here?
No, I'm not going to go long on Chipotle. I have a hunch that this ends up going lower. Not off earnings. Maybe earnings will give it a little bit of a boost up to 55. I'd be curious to see what happens up at 55. I'm not sure that the 200 really holds, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll have to just wait and see. I think that this needs to come in some more. I still think it might be overpriced.
Okay. So it sounds like at a minimum here, you're going to wait that earnings out and we'll see where Chipotle is tomorrow. Okay. Looks like, Jay, your long calls here for the Chipotle print. Good luck, my man. Hopefully that works out for you. I'm sure we're going to be taking a look at Chipotle again tomorrow as well. Some other stocks that we should take a look at. I know Tesla is going to be on deck for some people here today. Tesla reporting earnings. Tesla shares are trading lower following mixed Q2 earnings. Company also said it expects 2024 vehicle volume growth lower than 2023. One of the big stories here is the robo-taxi, which he's been promising for like 10 years now that we still don't have, the whole 9 yards. That event moved to October. Traders have been saying that some of this recent pop has that robo-taxi stuff built in. So we'll see where Tesla ends up going. We discussed yesterday maybe an ill-advised tweet that Elon made that might have upset the CCP. One of the things that we were discussing in happy hour is that there was likely going to be questions about that, either on the conference call itself or in the callback that some analysts do. Unsure how that went yet, but I'm sure we're going to find out some more about that here today. Now, looking inside of Tesla, Tesla's down 8% here in the pre-market, really kind of holding that 226, 225 level. We'll see if Tesla gives a trade here, but I'd be curious. I know that you folks are often looking at and or trading Tesla, so would love to hear what the group is looking at for Tesla. You got any thoughts on the Tesla print or stock, 13?
Well, it says here that the expectation for the Tesla robotaxi unveiling is set for October 10th. So there's a future catalyst there. The thing that's really bothering me about this is that we're about to have a bit of a bullish technical move here. We're going to get a golden cross probably this week or next week, maybe next week. This price that we're at right now at the 226, just above 226. I have that as a support level, even though it could go a little bit lower because I have a trend line that it also might find support from. Maybe 220 is about as low as this goes today. I can't say for sure, but I think that we get a little bit of dip buying coming in here.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch this one today, but that's what I would be looking for is for some dip buyers to come in because this is a big move down.
Okay, indeed, that is that 200-day down there at 205. Looks like Lynn and Randy are all set for that 220 support there on Tesla. We'll see how this plays out as well. Okay, let's go ahead and also take a look at Google. They also reported earnings last night. Alphabet shares trading lower following those Q2 earnings here. Here's a look at it. Now, this was wild in the after hours yesterday. We were actually watching this live on Happy Hour as well. We popped and dropped and popped and drop again, and now inevitably we're resolving lower here for Google. Weak in the pre-market. So really the question here is, do we think that this dip gets bought here? If so, not only might Google be in play, but also some of those other ETFs like SOXL, which I know a lot of you guys end up following. So we'll see here on Google. Did you have any thoughts here on the Google print, or are you looking at this for a potential trade at all?
No, I've owned Google for a while. I'm still holding it. I think this will go lower. I think the daily chart's showing a bear flag, a bit of topping out here just prior to that. So we just lost the 50-day SMA off the earnings. It's going to need to recapture that if we're going to remain bullish on it. So I'd be looking for the price to try to recapture that, but I don't think it will. I think we're going lower. That's my thought. Don't take to the bank.
Okay, so you think Google lower here? You know, this is interesting because this is a top and bottom line beat here with Google. So we've often talked about the relationship when stocks report good earnings and then trade lower. That's often a sign of a potential reversal. We're kind of seeing that, so it'll be interesting to see if that continues.
That's a good point. The earnings did not take Google back over the 20-day SMA in the after hours, and that I think needed to happen in order to remain bullish on it. Now we're beneath the 50. So that's, to me, I'm a little bit more bearish on this. I think it does go lower. I actually like it closer to 160.
Okay. Okay, cool. Google 160, looking for a spot there. Okay, let's take a look and see what other charts you folks want to take a look at. I know you were saying what Lumen had some news here recently. Is that the case? Let's see. So Lumen trading up here. This is Lumen Technologies. Let's see what the news was here. I didn't have this prepared. Sorry about that. Microsoft and Lumen Technologies partner to power the future of AI and enable digital transformation to benefit hundreds of millions of customers. Looks like just a Microsoft Lumen partnership to use Microsoft Cloud. That is popping Lumen here up 14% here in the pre-market. Here's a look at your pre-market chart. Looking pretty good here. This looking for some new highs. We'll see how this does out of this.
This is kind of like a stay focused play. This is the fiber optics. So if the Microsoft's tapping this company, this could be pretty big for Lumen. We'll probably have to have a discussion with him about what he's been looking for, because he's had other names that he's mentioned, and I haven't checked on those to see if they're doing well. But we've been talking about fiber optic build outs and AI and all the infrastructure needed to run all that. This is another piece of that puzzle. So this is interesting.
Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at it today and see if we can get some more information on it later
High short
on.
interest. It's squeezing.
High short interest. So here you go. 19.19% of the float shorted, 10.21 days to cover. Definitely high in both regards there on ticker LUMN. All right, what other stocks do you folks want to take a look at? It looks like Oxy, and a number of you guys trading some of the oil names here. Oxy, this is obviously a Warren Buffett play. Take a look at Oxy here. It looks like, where are we at here? 60.51. All right, so it looks like we're kind of coming in towards a support level here. Actually, a really good volume shelf right at the level we're at. Not one that I'm following here. Does look interesting at this potential level. Looking at oil here, oil's up fractionally under just 1% here today. You got anything here on Oxy? I know because we're spamming. Yeah, and by the way, with tickers here, no reason to spam, folks. No reason to spam. One time, we'll see it. Don't worry about that. Let me know, though, what any of your thesis here. What are you looking for? Is this a Trump trade for you for more oil? Are you playing it because of Warren Buffett? Are you playing it because of the chart? What say you here on Oxy?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking the group just in general, but if you have anything or any thoughts on Oxy or the chart, I'm happy to take them.
For me, I think this is probably going to, oil in general is probably going to end up being a good trade into the Trump presidency. But once he becomes president, I think we're going to probably want to think about selling before that. And we can get into that later on as it approaches. But something that's worth paying attention to is a Saudi Arabia-Israel deal and the Abraham Accords. If Trump's president, the prince, I can't remember his name, of Saudi Arabia, he wants to ensure that Trump has that victory of getting that deal cut with Israel, and it all has to do with the entire region coming under, being more stable.
Mhm.
And the path to that is to normalize relations with Israel, other countries around, like Egypt and Jordan, will get on board as well. And I know I'm kind of just being very vague about the whole thing, but ultimately, I think this is going to be bearish for oil as Saudi Arabia, helps put more out there in the market. I think we might get oil prices domestically dropping as a result of that.
Okay.
So we'll see. But I'm kind of being general here. If you're going to do your own research, look up Abraham Accords, look up Israel and Saudi Arabia deal, and that's a good place to start. But this is further down the line.
And to be fair, there's lots of moving pieces here. So having you make a call, months out, a lot can change in there.
Yeah.
So good stuff there.
Bin Salman. There we go.
Mohammed bin Salman, the name that you were looking for earlier. All right. Visa also reporting earnings yesterday. Visa down 3% here today. If we take a look inside, you can see exactly what Visa looks like. Visa shares trading lower following a slight Q3 revenue miss. Some of these credit card companies often also looked at when trying to judge the health of the consumer. I know one of the things that we were watching were some of the default rates and how that changed. I don't know if you saw any of that, 13. I did not. Looks like we're getting some reaffirmations of the buy rating. KBW, Goldman, KeyBank, all keeping their buy rating on. Piper Sandler maintaining overweight, but lowering the price target to 319, which is still 50, 60 points above where we're at right now. So Visa here, and anyone looking at any of the credit card companies at all at the moment, looking at where we're at here on Visa 256, we are right beneath a support. And this looks to go back to a consolidation area from December of 2023.
Yeah, this is probably going to be more along the lines of what we've been talking about for a while with the buy now, pay later, or just the fact that we have so much household debt. What is it? I can't remember the number. I think it's but it's a record number of debt. It's like in the trillions. I think this could be one of the first signs of that whole thing unraveling. We're also seeing a lot of banks are increasing their credit loss provision in anticipation of more defaults and delinquencies. So we could be seeing some unraveling from this. I guess it would be prudent for us to just find some levels for Visa for entry on the way down, especially if this is still viewed as a strong company with a buy rating. Looking at the chart. I guess we could draw on 250 as being a potential buy area. So,
okay, we'll see if that
mark it off.
the one thing here on Visa is this is moved beneath its 200-day. Again, kind of want to see if this reclaims or if this tries to hunt a bottom out on the lower end here. So we'll see here on Visa. Long term, I'm with you, Carm. I like this long term as well. I've traded Visa in the past, has gone pretty well. Okay, what other stocks do you folks want to take a look at? I saw someone mention Mira earlier today, which was a recent runner for us. Let's take a look at Mira. You can see this had a huge pop. We've retraced about 50% of the move. If we look at this morning here, it does look like we're trying to pop up. Looks like we made a double top here, about 275 in the pre-market. 10 seconds till we open. All right, let me flip over to, thanks for watching the clock, by the way. Stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. So if you need help getting above the 25K day trading threshold or simply need some more dry powder, they are your folks. And their stock trading competition starts on Monday. I saw a question earlier regarding options. No, it is stock only, as far as I'm aware. Okay, we are open. What do you folks see here today? Tesla first move down, by the way, out of the open.
News breaking out.
Yep, $5 holla coming here on news and through.
Mm-hmm. Next upside target I have is 565, but
there's a pull.
Yep.
Pull back down to that 473. I'm going to wait for this to kind of settle out here out of the open. Keep me posted if you're entering that. Here's Drama. This is another one from our list beneath the VWAP. One of the things we were waiting for here is a potential reclaim of that VWAP. We'll see if we get that.
Yeah, that one's really not doing a whole lot at the moment.
Nope.
I think 240 might be that's the price I'm going to wait for it to go down to if we get that movement. Otherwise, VWAP is up near 345.
SGMO, one of those penny stocks we talked about, right up here near the pre-market highs. Mira, which we just took a look at, continuing its curl as it rips out of the open here. Looks like a $3 test coming, some size there, but that's all deletable if we're able to get up there.
Yeah, 304 was the pre-market high, so that would be where I do wanting to see this breakout. And obviously, did we just take that out? That big block you were talking about? Looks like they did.
Yep.
Okay,
and
so
it looks like it just
coming.
went 1 cent higher here. Yep.
304.
There's
coming.
304.
There it is.
There's 308 high on Mira. Great stuff there.
SGMO now ripping as well, and at 85 cents. Hoth, just about as dead as a tauntaun.
There we go. I was wondering when we get our first tauntaun joke. You did not disappoint. Really quick here. Ray asking, pins gapping down. Just hit an alert for me. Any news on pins? Yes, here it is real quick. Here is the news feed courtesy of Benzinga Pro. One of the things that you're seeing here today, Morgan Stanley maintaining equal weight, raising the price target. Looks like one of the directors paid for shares or tax. So it looks like there's insider transaction there, but don't really see anything else huge here. Pinterest down 3% here today. How's the regular market going here? Q's
Kramer,
still a little bit lower. Sorry, what was that?
Kramer recommended to buy pins hand over fist earlier yesterday, it looks like.
Okay.
So that
okay.
I see that from Tuesday at 9:16.
I don't want to say that's why, but good data point nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not saying it's exactly the reason why, but it looks like that could be one of the two reasons. The other being Morgan Stanley's price target raise. We're past that now. So
Mira still holding that 304 level that you had mentioned earlier, 13. NUZE, big pull all the way back here. Like I said, this is why we want to wait and have those settle first. Drama, DRMA. It's like that's still kind of hanging out here. SGMO, that penny stock that was ripping even more highs here. So that penny stock's still going. I'd still say be careful with this one.
Yeah.
Joseph asking if there's any news on AZTR. Sorry, go ahead and I'll get to the AZTR next.
BBLG, the other one we were talking about, that one's actually suspended or halted right now to the upside. The pre-market high in that one is 288. So when we unhalt, look for that to either get taken out or get rejected at that level. I have an upside target of 315.
Okay. AZTR here. Joseph, bad news, my man. Bad news. AZTR, as Tira shares trading lower after the company announced pricing of a $10 million public offering at $1.50 per share. Now, hats off to you, 13. We were talking about this. This company needs cash, saying be careful with this. This is a possibility. Look what we got here, minus 74%.
This is one thing to always watch for with these small, low float stocks. Look at their cash position, because this, especially if you decide to hold these, I don't think it's a great idea to be holding these names that we're trading. These are day trades only. If you do end up wanting to hold this, make sure you read through some of the financials and understand what you're getting yourself into. Companies like this need money all the time. They're just constantly burning it because clinical trials and technology research are expensive.
Real quickly here, Webcoin saying with the offering behind it might run again. So if that's the case,
True.
Webcoin, keeping it on your watch list is probably a good idea. But with the news here today, that's exactly what's going on. Yeah. All right, drama here. So this did pop up to its VWAP. Actually, looks like, we popped and went through the VWAP. Now let's see if did this get halted? It looks like it did. Yeah, drama's halted here. So a little bit of a delayed reaction there on drama. We shall see.
Looks like
drama halt.
Going.
Yep.
Mira's going again, or trying to push through 318, the current intraday high. What is Boeing and Disney doing?
Just look around here. Twitter streets. SPWR popping a little bit. Peers halted up. So that's the one that we talked about with the merger here. This halted to the upside, 1542 on Peers. And it halted right before drama. It was a good call, literally 20 seconds before.
Wow. So far, three of the ones we're talking about are just halted
to the upside.
Yep. Now, the thing with Peers is that it actually broke through its 200-day SMA on that last move, I think. Mira is open and now ripping.
320 year high there, 324. It looks like they just took it there. Some size there at 330 and 331.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say open. I think it was already open, and we were just waiting for that to break out. So it did 325. The ones that are actually halted are BBLG and DRMA. Oh boy, look at this one go. Let me see if I can put some levels out here for this.
There you go on Mira. Jay, you're looking at a dip buy on Hood here. What's the thesis here on Hood? Looks like this is just kind of coming back in right at that 20-day moving average. And then FI, that's going to be Fiserv, isn't it? Fiserv, that's breaking out here, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Disney turning around? There was a mentioned opinion on Disney. Oh, my opinion on Disney is that I think it goes lower.
Yeah, here.
With the strike coming.
I'll get to that chart here. I just wanted to finish up with ticker FI here. Definitely breakout here on the daily chart. FI looking pretty good. And this is on an earnings beat here too. So nice breakout on earnings. On FI, ticker FI. All right, you want to take a look at Disney here. You've had a great thesis here on Disney, so I'll just let you explain this. Here's your chart on Disney.
Yeah, this company has got a real big brand problem. They're not really hitting the right notes with their streaming service, putting out content that not very many people want to watch. Lots of DEI headwinds in this company. The technical assessment here is that we have a death cross occurring probably today or tomorrow. It looks like it's happening right now. I think it's going to end up losing 90 at some point here. And then there's also a looming strike that at the California theme park, as after union members voted on Friday to do that. So we just are waiting on a date for when that walk-off is going to happen. So not looking great for Disney, in my opinion. I think this does go lower. Breakdown of 90 is where I'm at right now. I'm not exactly sure how low this goes. I could guess we test 80 and lose that as well, but that might be a little while before that happens.
Yeah, there's some pretty decent support here at 80. Hey, office assistant, you don't like Disney, huh? You're meowing at Disney? Is that what you're doing? All right, so it's official. Buddy from the Bird Perch here, he does not a fan on Disney. Not a fan. Okay, let me go ahead and hop back here real quick to the trade the pool. Mira continuing to hold its highs here. Looks like it's off that 330 high, but still holding above 304 at 315 currently.
Upper shadows don't look great. SGMO is also halted to the downside now after getting up to 90 cents.
Someone was asking about the AMC halt. I do have that halted here in the tool. It says reason not available on AMC. Was that a volatility move? Yeah, it looks like that was probably just a quick move up. Not sure. No reason given for the halt there on AMC. At least not from the report. Okay, what else are you seeing or want to take a look at here? IWM getting mentioned. We're definitely kind of watching the rotation here. IWM green. This is leading the way higher as SPY leading the way lower here. So that inverse relationship continuing. Sorry, 13. Here are the Qs going the same way as the SPY. Get in there, my man.
I would like to see a breakout over 225, and I'm hoping a little bit too much here. And if we do get that breakout, it takes us up to 235. That's ideally what I would like to see, because that would take us to the top of this sideways channel. Well, not necessarily the exact top of the IWM, but the top of this sideways channel that we've had from basically all of 2021. And then once we hit that, I think we start coming back down for a bit of a corrective move, pull back before taking a higher. So looking to see if that's what we get. I just want to see, first things first, a breakout of 225.
Okay. Good stuff there. Peers continuing to run. So the one that we were saying, hey, maybe there won't be a trade here, ripping right out of the gate through those pre-market highs and higher. Super spread here on PIRS.
And MIRA trying to get support from VWAP. That was upper shadows.
There you go.
Let's see. NUZE, that's getting support from VWAP as well. DRMA, still suspended, as is BBLG. Hoth about to potentially get some support from the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, which I have at 105. Actually, it looks like it already gave that support. So
IVP popping a little. This is a recent runner that's retraced most of its move. It is popping a little bit here, though.
oh yeah, the veterinary.
Yeah.
Yeah. For this one, looking for a breakout over 667, and then that will take it. Hopefully, that takes us up to the pre-market high of 820.
Here's still ripping here. Still ripping here.
Let me put this on my screen then. All right.
TNKO? Oh, TKNO. I mixed that one up there. TKNO. Let's see here. That is trading up here. Not the greatest volume, but moving up here.
Yeah, PIRS a little spready.
Yeah. Definitely. How's Tesla doing? How we doing here on Tesla? Here's 221. All right. So let's see what we do here at 220.
Yeah. If it's going to bounce, it's going to probably be around here. All right. Looks like SGMO is now back open under VWAP at the moment. And PIRS getting a pull now. The high is 1745.
Tesla looking like it's going to hunt out this 221 and go into that 220 handle.
BDLG unhalted, exploded to the upside, and is now about to halt again.
Okay. Bone Biologics halted here, 354 to the upside.
Yep. Hoth looking for support right about here at the 200 EMA on the 5 minute, right about there. So if it's going to turn around, it's going to have to turn around here. Otherwise, I think it's going under $1.
Okie dokie. Here's news. Looks like that did try to bounce off that VWAP there. Let me turn some of my notifications off, getting blown up here.
It looks like it's trying to hold that 355 level.
News approaching 375 here on this bounce. What do you guys think about a news bounce here?
Volume needs to come in. It really does. Otherwise, this is going to lose VWAP for a little bit longer. I mean, there are a lot of sell orders coming in that are much larger than what the buyers are trying to pick up. So there we go. Now volume is looking like it was starting to expand there a little bit.
Remember, this stock up considerably, over 300% here in the pre-market. So just be careful with whatever you're trying to do here. How's Tesla doing at that 220 level? All right, here we go on Tesla, 220. So what do we think? We bounce here, folks?
That would be my expectation.
Good morning, Shannon. Did you hear Zinger Buddy meowing in the background? He seems to be gone now. Not sure where he went, but anyway.
All right, we're taking some folks taking some news. It looks like we're trying to reverse here.
Tesla coming in still to that 220 level. Here's news. As it did take out that 374, 375 area, and they brought in some bids beneath it on news. Now they're walking that bid up. Those are getting hit. It is a fight. Indeed, it is a fight. Now we're back down to that 374 level that we were just looking at taking out here.
Yeah, it's got to hold VWAP. Otherwise, probably headed down to under 3.
Drama is open and creating more of it. Let's see if this comes all the way back in towards the VWAP here. 420. This is all over the place, and the spread is changing wildly.
Yeah, this looks like it could get up to 540.
Tom saying, what the hell is going on with Chipotle? I'll tell you what, Chipotle looks like it has a stomach ache. And as far as again, like I was saying in the open here, at this point now, definitely like that it's come down to the 200-day, but normally under normal circumstances, I'm waiting for closing candles around that level anyway. We got earnings today, so let's see what the earnings say here. Definitely seems tummy achy so far here today. Glenn D, watching Tesla, 219.10. All right, Glenn. I can watch that. We did break through 220 here. See if we get down to that 219.10 level, Glenn. I know that your technical analysis on Chewy was almost down to the penny, I feel like, in a number of those moves here. We'll see if we can get that here on Tesla. HE from Bryce getting mentioned here. Here's a short, small little Tesla bounce here. Here's HE. So HE back up towards 17 after that and pull. What was that, on the 22nd, I believe? Yes, that was on the 22nd. So it's 2 days ago. HE doing well here. Volume not notable yet, but take a look at what this did yesterday. It just climbed all day yesterday. We'll see if this can actually get back to that 17.50 handle, about 75 cents away from where it's at right now. Bryce, you long this? You long this one? This actually looks pretty good here. NIVF. This was one of the penny stocks that someone was mentioning earlier. Looks like this did, although it bled all the way back, looks like it did come up off those lows and just took out the VWAP. So NIVF, right? Looking decent here. Not bad.
Let's see.
Not bad. All right, Bryce, that's a nice little Hawaiian Electric position there. Good luck. Hopefully that one works out for you. We'd love to see that. Siri getting mentioned in the chat. That wasn't that a Zach call? Yeah, actually, this daily chart looking pretty good here. Siri looking like this might try and break out. This is, of course, Sirius XM, not your AI assistant on your iPhone. 408 and 417. So maybe watch that area between 410 and 420 as a potential resistance area there on Siri. If we break above that, trend might be changed here. Lynn giving us some boots on the ground anecdotes here. Chipotle. Chipotle report. We've had 2 mediocre experiences and are sour on them right now. Bad food, dirty stores. Not what you want to hear. Not what you want to hear. I will say here that is not been my experience in the Chicagoland area here. But I basically only visit 2 Chipotles around me, so my sample size is quite small here. Lynn and Randy often travel all over the place, so I would take that. Interesting, though. Like I said, I really want to see what this earnings sprint says about Chipotle.
Well, it looks like NUZE is getting support from VWAP and trying to turn around here.
380s. Let's see if it pops above this. 398. Let's see if it gets 4. Okay, we're pulling back down to the VWAP here. 355 is that VWAP.
Ooh, they just brought a huge ask at 387.
Yep. And remember, I would not be shocked to see that over and over, especially as long as this maintains some of its eye-popping gains that it has here this morning. If that continues, you can see big offers being slapped right there on the ask, and you can probably see that most of the day until it starts to break down.
Yeah, trying to chew through it right now.
Yeah.
And then the next one up above it is at 396.
KB, good to see you this morning here. NAAS, this is another one that's kind of ripping up towards the highs here. This has been another recent runner for us here. You can see on the hourly chart where some of this zone was. Looks like between 824 there and $10. Spotify, we had Anne Marie give out a free Spotify trade yesterday. Spotify looking like it's trying to continue to run here after those positive earnings that it was able to hold yesterday. Spotify higher here. Let's see. We actually did break above yesterday's intraday high. Let's see if Spotify can continue to go here. I didn't notice any unusual options on the chain yet, but I'll keep an eye out for that. Ticker SPOT. I am seeing a lot of Tesla options, both puts and calls, although looks like more heavy on the put side here, rolling through the unusual options algorithm. Yeah, definitely more puts here on Tesla.
He's still trying to push through that. Well, it's trying to get over 4 right now. It's got a number of orders to chew through. It's not. I'm not sure about this one right now. Maybe it works out later, but this one looks like it's going to lose VWAP at some point unless the volume really picks up.
Yeah, that 396 has got some size there. If we can get above that, that's actually going to take out this little curl formation here. That should send us above 4. Drama also moving back towards the highs here. Ticker DRMA. Let's see if it gets up there.
Yeah, this one looks like it's going to push up to that 539 pre-market high. Ooh, that was a big order just pulled it down.
Taking a look at CrowdStrike here, this tried to go lower, but the buyers so far have stepped in. Let's see if we can get above that initial spike out of the open there. CRWD had some pretty good trades on this yesterday from the group. You guys were on this. Big shouts, Elon. NIVF getting mentioned here. That is continuing to move. So whoever was on this earlier, hopefully you're able to get that bottoming price in here. Nice little move off that level on NIVF.
Yeah, the next... I'd like to see it take out 135 next.
Yeah. Why is the BBLG halt so long? Let me see. I have trading halted on NASDAQ only. That looks like a volatility trade. I can't give you any more information than that. I'm not sure. BBLG.
Yeah, BBLG.
Spotify puts now coming in, but that's small. That's not that notable.
For BBLG, when it unhalts, let me see if I can give you another level here. I'd be looking at about 425 and 450 as the next upside targets in that one.
AMC is open and ripping to the lows. I guess I should have said flushing to the lows. This is a really good question. Amanda, what are you looking at for swings this week, Rye? Well, as far as like targets that I'm kind of looking at, really the big one here is Chipotle. And I was hoping for a little bit better action ahead of the earnings to maybe try and convince myself to play the earnings print itself, but that didn't really materialize. So now that this is done, I'm thinking that I want to see what this print looks like and see what kind of setup we end up getting for this, because I would really like to swing Chipotle. Sorry, 13, go ahead.
News trying to push up some more. It's making a little bit better highs than it was in the past 10 minutes. Still above its VWAP, trying to push through some EMAs right now. I don't know what this.
Here's that four test we were talking about. Let's see what this does here. By the way, real quick, that BBLG is open now. I know we were just talking about the long halt there. BBLG open, moved higher here, and then getting back to the swing. So if I see something that looks juicy, I'll take it. That's what happened with the JMIA sweep that we took and actually already closed. It was probably one of the shortest swing trades there is. I have a trailer on for the earnings, but I've already booked gains on that. As far as like other targets that I'm kind of setting up for, I really want to see now at this point how we kind of finish off this week with earnings. I'll let you know if I have any other targets. The only real solid one here is Chipotle, but at this point I want to wait the earnings print out. That was a good question though. News through 4. Tesla flush past my support 217.39. So let's take a look at Tesla. So Glenn, looks like that 219.10 did not hold here. Tesla's still hunting new lows here. Drama lost its VWAP. Sorry, 13. I keep doing that.
Mira flushed. Yeah, Drama lost its VWAP. BBLG turning around after hitting that 424. So that was close to 425 that I was mentioning. SGMO lower. IVP under VWAP as well. These are really looking like they're getting hammered here, folks. Yes, same thing. Jeez.
And the market looking the same way here, 13. SPY continuing to move to the lows here, just setting some new lows. Q's holding out at the lows, although it doesn't look like it's currently moving down. IWM completely reversed intraday. Now we're back down to where we were prior to that rip, but this is a big time reversal here. Jay giving us Tesla 189 as a potential long level. Am I understanding that correctly? I want to make sure I don't misquote you here. 217, looking for more downside move here at 189. I guess confirm if that's what you're saying here, or if you're saying that this is a target for maybe some more downside for a potential short action play here. All right, news here, 440. I think that if you were taking that VWAP curl here, got to do some trimming here, book some of those gains. Remember, stock's up massively here today. Let's not try and be a hero.
Yeah, and here comes that pull. Probably back down to VWAP.
Right to 4. It looked like it did go through 4 there, but right to it. Again, folks, don't be afraid to take your gains, especially on these day trades. You want to have a big wealth move, some an investment, really well-researched swing trade, probably the way to do that. With these day trades, do not be afraid to take your gains when you have them.
Wow.
Yep, Crow, you're right on here, man. Take profit quick kind of day. Indeed.
So yeah, it looks like the SPY is plummeting on the PMI numbers.
Okay, let me pull that up here real quick. All right. Global U.S. manufacturing PMI for July, 49.5 versus the 51.7 estimate. The prior read was 51.6. And the U.S. S&P Global Services PMI for July, 56 versus a 54.7 estimate. The prior read was 55.3. You're getting a hot read there on the services PMI. Okay, Jay, so 189 support. Thank you for confirming that. 189 support for Tesla. So that actually sets up a potential long entry zone there, but we're so far away from that. Actually, a potential short play there. Let me know if you're going to try and short it down to that level. New home sales in 3 minutes.
Looks like we're going to mention from TKNO. That's getting some movement
Look at this
morning.
news move. Oh, my God, news. So any of you that took that trade, 13, you had said, hey, this feels like this might flush. This feels like this might flush. And you were simply, 4 minutes early or whatever on that? It made a nice little run there, but boy, it did exactly what you said it was going to do.
Just did not look great. It was encouraging that it was getting support from the VWAP, but the volume just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Look at NAAS. This thing is just all over the place.
Okay, let me bring that up here. Actually, I'm going to step away for 1 sec. I'm going to leave NAS up. BRB, all right, 13?
All right. SGMO penny comeback. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's trying to recapture the VWAP right now. That's looking pretty good. Oh, Hoth losing the 200 EMA on the 5 minute. So this looks like it might be heading underneath the dollar. BBGL still suspended. IVP, that one looks like it's probably headed lower, but those wicks on the bottom may indicate that the buyers are starting to step in. Peers under the VWAP. I won't even talk about news because we already know that had a problem. What do we think with TKNO? I'm not even sure what this is moving off of. Notice of an offering. I don't know if I'd want to be in this one. Google trying to recover. Let's see here. Yeah, seems like it found a bit of a bottom around just under 172. So we'll see if that.
Okay, back. Sorry, 13.
Hey, we're just taking a look at Google, seeing if this
Let's do it.
this bottoming action here is going to be the low of the day, or if it's just the first of many. For me, I think the price would have to get back above 177 to 179 in order to feel good about bullishness.
We talked about this one yesterday here.
Yeah. And there goes TKNO.
Looking around here at some stuff. Yeah, everything moving lower here. Even Apple. Iceland.
Might be a sit on your hands kind of moment until we see some better setups.
Yep, and that's okay. I got no problem doing that here on a Wednesday. TKNO, this up to the highs here. I got to think this is a trim zone. If you had this one, if TKNO was on there, I'd be trimming up here. Look what we just saw in some of the other stocks. Smoke Tuna mentioning CMAX. Do we have this coming back here? Maybe popping right through that VWAP off the bottom, Smoke Tuna.
Getting a mention to look at ABT, Abbott Labs.
Okay.
Seeing that that's got some movement out here. Can't seem to. There we go. Not sure if it's off of any news. I'm already in this one. I'm holding Abbott for a long period of time. Good company. Pays the dividend. All right, DRMA trying to recapture its VWAP, TKNO 375 getting rejected. I don't know that this is the end of TKNO, but we'll need to see if it can get support from 340. NIBF. That looks ugly. Now it's currently beneath all moving averages I have on my screen and VWAP. NAAS popped to a new intraday high of 723. It came back in a little bit. We're looking for VWAP to support it. This might be able to get going again in a little while, as long as it holds support, or holds VWAP, sorry.
Okay. CMAX, did that get halted off that move off the bottom? Boy, I took that off the screen. No, this is the same level. It was halted when I had mentioned that. Sorry, Tuna. Left that off.
$160 to $310 for Amanda Gibbons Iron Condor for Tesla.
You want to cover this one here?
No, I was just mentioning that because I saw that and I thought that was information worth mentioning. Let's take a look at Tesla and look at her levels and see what we can drop on with that. Because I know
you're talking. So Anne Marie. So this is interesting. So I wish we had Anne Marie here, Amanda. This is a great question for her. This Iron Condor's not my thing here. I'd rather get you an answer here from Anne Marie. But basically here, what you're talking about doing is when Anne Marie talks about triaging a position, right? In a lot of cases, her spreads aren't this wide, but with spreads are this wide, you could sell those legs individually. Sorry, I don't have a recommendation. Let's open this up to the chat. Anyone else? Anyone else have any thoughts here for how Amanda can actually triage this position?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. This is just that's a pretty large range. I'm looking at 160, and that's near the bottom of 2024. And then, of course, 310. Those are 2023 levels. Yeah, I don't know. I think we might get some support here in Tesla and turn around. So we'll have to see. It's beneath 220 now, down to the 500-day SMA. If that doesn't hold, then the 200's next. And we can just keep giving levels until one of them works.
Market continuing to push down here, by the way. SPY, lows, Qs, lows, IWM. IWM's bouncing a little bit. That's been in a chop zone here today. Dow also down here. DIA also at the lows.
Yeah, so SPY actually went right through that 547 handle that I was talking about, but not without a bounce, it seems.
Here's SGMO, Crow calling this one, reclaiming the VWAP here.
So next level for SPY, 545.18.
Cal-Maine Foods ripping here on a red day. Some clear relative strength here.
Crow mentioning SGMO. Did you say that?
Yeah, I took a look at that.
Oh yeah, trying to get back above its VWAP. Chop. That's what I see.
Me too. A lot of it. And I got if the market wants to come in, that's something that I've been waiting for a long time. I can wait that out.
Yeah.
I can practice patience.
I'm patient.
I can practice it.
All right. So what are we looking at? Because I'm just kind of waiting right now. Looks like BBLG's back open again, getting support from VWAP. Looks like wants to try to push up to 315. It's got to take out this big old ask at 297.
CGBS, another penny stock here, kind of curling up. Drama coming back. We're going to get some more drama later today. Last time we talked about the stock, it gave us drama all day, I feel like.
Any idea what the float for Lumen is? Sure, we can look that up.
LUMN, we took a look at that here this morning.
That's 731 million shares with 19% short interest. So we likely saw a squeeze this morning, and now we're just getting the profit taking. Looks like this is going lower. Sorry,
no, it's all right. TIRX here, reclaiming its VWAP. Tuna's all over it. Tuna just wakes up and has like the market ticker is just going through his head. I feel like you're
The gods-
always ready for it.
The gods bestow knowledge upon him as soon as he opens his eyes, and he's like, "Let's do this." And he has the days that he has.
Okay, well,
That's how it works. I'm convinced of it.
okay. That is a good spot to be in. Seagate here. This also reported earnings. This ticker STX. This bouncing off of the initial profit-taking dip here. It has the potential to go higher here, especially above that 113 level. Whatever ended up happening with PIRS, okay, that came right back. Look at that, 13. So, man, we had said earlier on this one, we're not sure if this one's really going to provide a trade. I guess if you had kind of hit that initial move out of the gate, that's fine here, but it came all the way back to where it's consolidating, literally nothing here in the same area. Yeah, if you didn't take those gains, you're basically flat on it. And
it's beneath VWAP right now, so that kind of gives you the range that it's in, pretty much where VWAP is in the low of 1310. You can even go 13 if you want, but I think 1310 is the one you want to pay attention to. So that's the sideways range that it's kind of, hanging out in right now. If it breaks down, I'd be looking at $12. If it breaks out, I'd be looking at taking out the intraday all-time high of 1745.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Drama. Are we about to get some drama here? Looks like it's trying to get back up to VWAP.
I mean, we're right there at the VWAP. Let's see on 365. Maybe do we try some here? Let's see. What's the bottom end of the range here? 330. Oh, did it?
It's trying to break out of VWAP right now.
There it goes. There it goes. That was the push. Let's see if this continues or if it yanks back here. Watch for a 4 takedown here.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna try and do that for sure. No guarantee that it does it. It's got a huge wall there, but the volume keeps expanding. Might be good. Nope.
There's the yank.
Good call on the yank.
No comment.
Hey.
It's a family show here, folks.
Family show.
Actually, that pull so far represented a fairly decent buying opportunity.
Also getting a mention of CANF.
Okay.
I'll take a look at that while I have this one on my other screen.
Can you riddle saying it's been a while since I was on the show. Can you riddle? What the hell? Why? But secondly, gotta say, 13, the new hairstyle suits you. Boom.
The new hairstyle? What?
Yeah, I think what he means is the no hat style, which is the only thing that's changed there. Drama's still going here. See?
It's certainly trying to hold it above its VWAP.
I wanna try taking this little pop here, but I've got this little imaginary tuna just sitting on my shoulder, being like, "Don't buy the breakout. You have to buy the weakness." Because I'm not trying to make fun of your voice either. I'm trying to be a little tuna on the
That's
shoulder.
how I sound.
No, not you, guys.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, it's really struggling to hold its VWAP. The position at 4 gets bigger and bigger. It's going to need a lot of volume to push through that. So we might get a big outsized move if it does take that out. If we do, then let's see. If it takes out 4, then I'd be looking at a
420
breakout over 5.
I think if it takes out 4, you got another spot there around 420, and if that goes, it's gonna be that top there, that $5 top that you just mentioned. Alyssa, I literally couldn't figure out what changed with 13. It was just the hat. That's actually pretty funny.
It's like a Clark Kent moment. He puts the glasses on, no one recognizes him.
Becca, that's a good call here. Tuna would have an accent, and I didn't even.
Here we go.
Attempt.
Drama.
There's 4. There's the 4 level we just talked about here. 425 had some size there. Still think 420.
I know wisdom is.
Oh, I mean, that's probably why he's not here, right? I would say move through the VWAP here. This is actually a fairly decent trim zone, especially above that 4.
Yeah. We're all just quiet, letting to see if this is going to do the thing.
Look, I got no problem waiting some of this stuff out. No problem at all. Let's take a look at Tesla here too. We were waiting on that one for a while. Looks like Tesla did bounce a little bit here. Looks like 214 overshot that 219 spot. We'll see if this can get back to its VWAP, which is now at 220, that spot we were outlining. Yes, please listen to Alyssa. Like the stream, please and thank you. Love it, Alyssa.
Right. Looks, I'm getting asked about the IWM. Let me just finish this trade with DRMA, and I will take a look at that.
Here's 420 coming. Nice job on that entry too, 13. Nice job.
Okay.
VIX crawling up 1642. Looks like maybe a 1650 handle on deck here for the VIX.
I'd like to see it break 20. I was been saying it for a little while. Every election year we always get, and this is when this VIX pops a little bit late, admittedly, but we always seem to get a VIX pop in late June to early to mid July. We kind of got that earlier, and now we're getting more of it, so it's a little bit late, but still happened. Next one should be in September, early September, and there's drama. That's why I got out when I did, and we're beneath VWAP again.
And there's your pull.
So
that's again the story of the day here. Take gains when you have them. Look at the pull now. $3 pull here on drama, or excuse me, pull down to $3 there. Let me be correct.
As far as the IWM, do I think it'll turn around? If you're asking me intraday, I think my best answer is I don't know. I think because we have the rate cut sentiment coming, going strong, and it's looking more and more likely that we'll get some rate cuts this year. Then I think it could get back up to 225. That's what I'm looking at as far as a breakout target is 225. So
by the way, while you're going over IWM, drama halted to the downside.
That's a lot of halts in the market this morning. We've had 5 or 6 different tickers that we've been looking at.
It's been a whipsaw. It has been a whipsaw here today.
But ultimately, yes, I think the IWM should go higher. I anticipate it's going to trade in a range for a little bit, and I have that range at the high of 235 with a low of 205. I think that's where the range could be until it ends up breaking out or breaking down. That's what I'm watching for.
I would say for these IWM levels, let's pay attention to the closing print as well, right? Let's see where it actually finishes the day up. And we might be able to make some better observations at that point. Well, it's one of the reasons why I like watching some of these just throughout the course of the day and then figuring out what happens at the end of the day.
Rango halts vary depending on the number of them. I think the first one is 15? No, it's not that long. What's there's a set, usually a set range.
10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and then the subsequent ones can be longer. There's also halts that will halt for a long time. If there's news pending or something going on with the company, they can request to have their stock halted.
Yeah, so a news pending halt can be a variable length of time. It can be as short as 5 minutes, or it can be as long as multiple days, weeks, or even months if the SEC gets involved. The volatility halts, I think, is what he was asking about. I'm not sure. Volatility halts generally 10 or 15 minutes. 5 minutes the first. So 5
that
to
sounds
10 minutes. Yeah.
I thought it was 5 minutes. Yeah. So it's
there's multiple levels of volatility halts though.
Yeah. Maybe we should see if we can find a graphic that has all that information, because that would be helpful.
Yeah, I can hunt for that. Volatility halt rules. Right? Let's see.
Sounds like a good set of keywords to use. AZTR worth watching. Oh, is this going to finally make its comeback now?
So that had remember that had the offering news here this morning. Let me put that up on the screen. That doesn't really seem like it's doing much of anything.
Well, it is holding its VWAP. And if it takes out 130, then the next target is going to be 138, where there's a lot of
this document is pretty comprehensive, but I don't see that mentioned in here.
NAAS with some movement here.
So I'll have to spend some more time on that some other time.
I got to be honest. The things that we were talking about, they all look like they're just not going to do anything, and then they get a wild hair, and we're too late.
Yep.
Be
And like-
careful.
And 13, to the advice there about being careful. Look, again, if I don't see something that really looks good, got no problem being patient. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes we talk about trading emotions and fighting trading emotions. Sometimes you've got to fight that urge to force trades. I do it myself here. We're looking at some of these movers and I'm like, oh, I want to get this. It looks like it's going to, but it just doesn't have the great setup.
Yeah. And try not to tell yourself, oh, I can make this work. You're not in control here.
Yeah.
The market is. Take what the market gives you, say thank you, and then move on.
What do you guys think about buying AMC here? I am not an AMC fan. I am not a part of any of this drama. I don't think it's going to be this huge squeeze or anything. So for me, AMC is a no touch. We did pull here off the open. I would turn this over to the group for any of you folks. Is anyone still trading AMC?
There might be a catalyst trade here. Let me just look at something real quick.
Okay. Ooh, Netflix actually coming up off the bottom. Netflix showing some strength here.
So you might get a short-term pop in AMC if the Deadpool and Wolverine numbers are good, or if there's reports about participation in seeing the movie, like moviegoers. If we start getting reports of like box office numbers, before the weekend, because I know that we have some early screenings, early of the movie, like on Thursdays. We could see some movement off of that, but I feel like that's a little bit of a long shot, but it's something that bears worth watching. There's a lot of hyped up anticipation around that movie, and it could be good for both AMC and Disney in a very, very short term period.
So you're looking at maybe a short-lived, short-term pop if you start getting good data out of that movie premiere. Okay.
But and AW Texas, I agree. But the thing is that might be the one of the movies that is worth going to see. And Market Sniper making a point about the new Twisters movie. I've been hearing some good things about that. It wasn't the knockoff of the original that we were all thinking it could be. I heard some good things about that, so that might we might see a little bit more activity in theaters. To your point with having that theater being full when they were watching Twisters.
I remember when Twister came out. That was there were a lot of people that loved that movie.
So many great one-liners out of that movie.
F5 tornado can push an egg through a barn door. 2 if one of them's open.
Yeah, suck zone.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, NAAS pushing up here. A little bit more volume in that one.
We've got cows. Yeah,
we've got cows.
So okay. So let's have a little honesty corner here. Let's have a little honesty corner. Not sure of everyone's age here, but anyone that's even remotely close to my age, I want to know, guys. I want to know, when you were younger, did you have a crush on Helen Hunt? Let's have an honesty corner answer here. 13, your eye reaction there says it all.
Not really.
I'll start. When I was younger, I did. So I don't know if that says anything bad about me, but just wondering.
Did not have a crush. NAAS looking like it wants to.
Maybe I'm alone on that one.
No, I don't.
Jay Wild. Okay, here we go. So I just needed to wait a little bit. I love this. We've got people on both sides here. JJ, no in caps, definitively. Easy Mike. Yup. Bob, sure did. She was hot back in the day. Hell yes. No. Randy says yes. Yeah. Oh, I love it. We're back and forth. See, that's why I asked that, because even back when I was a kid, there was a debate amongst my friend group on whether or not Helen Hunt could get it. That's kind of funny.
This is funny because this is what makes a market, and we're talking about Helen Hunt. There's opinions on both sides.
Look, appreciate you guys going along with that just for a sec there. That's kind of funny. That is kind of funny.
There are so many question marks out here. I just don't know if there's anything really worth jumping into.
Did the SPY slow its sell-off down yet? Oh, it looks like it tried to.
Well, it's now, for me, this is much lower than it was before. I don't think, you know what, let me look at something here. I'm curious. I'm curious now.
Bob, I was 17 and had a crush on every woman alive. That's the comment of the day there, Bob. That's the comment of the day. Beck saying, I like the Bills, Bill Paxton and Pullman, and using the money gif in there. That's money. That is money. You guys are making my morning here this morning. That is awesome.
Trying to think what other movies were out during the time.
Wasn't that around the time of Independence Day? Jurassic
Yeah.
Park was some years earlier. That was the early mid 90s, right?
Mid 90s. I think Twister came out in 96.
And so some you folks have seen Twisters, and you're saying that it's enjoyable, it's good, it's worth seeing.
Well, that's what I'm hearing from.
I thought someone in the chat had said that too. I thought someone in the chat said that they loved Twisters, but I could have missed it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Easy Mike. Bill Paxton had a lot of boxes checked, and he survived a tornado.
Market Sniper said I liked it. Okay, interesting. Go see it in 4D, says Bryce. Interesting.
So when the market's acting up like this, this is where we have to go. We talk about fun stuff.
Look at the move on Netflix. Big reversal off that 635 level.
Yeah. This has got multiple closes beneath the 50-day SMA. I need to see that get recaptured before getting excited about it. It looks like it could go lower.
Lynn saying loved Twisters in all caps, going a second time tonight. Okay, Lynn, there we go.
Well, that's because she likes Glenn Powell.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay. Tesla here, looks like that sell-off has stopped now. Tesla coming up off the bottom here. We'll see if this can reclaim VWAP and get going on Tesla.
VRPX trying to get back up to VWAP. That MACD also looks like it's curling up. This might do something if we get some more volume.
Good news is that it didn't break down.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I know I've been watching some of the options flow lately. I have not seen really anything today that is notable. What on earth is going on with this entry? My God, I'm just trying to punch up Siri. By the way, that was unable to break that daily spot that we were talking about earlier on Siri here. I don't really see anything wild in the options market here today. I'm seeing options being traded, and I'm seeing some bigger trades go back and forth, but nothing that really kind of stands out for me here. Bitcoin at the highs. I wonder how Coinbase is doing. Ticker coin at its VWAP here.
Getting a mention from two people about SLNA. So this one went down to 2 cents.
Stock.
It went down to 2 cents, and I guess that was a buy opportunity because how much more downside could there be? And now we're coming back up. So what is this, like a 4 cents is going to basically be like what, a 200% move for this?
Yeah, you guys can have all of that. I'll stay away.
That's go ahead and trade it. How you're going to trade it. It could be a great opportunity, but yeah, this is just not for me. But yeah, I guess the thesis kind of holds up. If it's got really nowhere else to go besides zero, why not take a shot at it?
TLSA, Tesla's doppelganger, is on the relative volume scanner. This is Tizania Life Sciences. Yeah, I've totally traded this before by accident because I'm a dummy. Just transposing some of the numbers here. Be careful. Be careful.
Crow not letting those shorts have their day.
No, Crow is a constant short battler. Crow is trader by day, fighting shorts like a superhero by the evening. That's Crow.
I want to see what that costume looked like.
Incorporates a crow in some way, I'm sure.
Looks like IVP is trying to return very slowly, but it's inching its way back up to VWAP. It's got to get through 545, and then I'll have to worry about 570. Oh man, things just really dried up.
Yeah,
fast.
they sure did. And I'm actually one of my other trader groups here saying the market is not helping today, and I am not seeing anything. SPY still at the lows here. So need one of these reset days. I'll take it.
Well,
I'll take it.
It might not be the only day we get this.
Yep. Which would be all right too. Drama, man. Look at that. Look at after that pull, this thing right down at the pre-market support level that it hung around at all day. Maybe we get a curl here. What do you guys think? Tuna, Crow, is this done for the day here, or might there be a potential move later on today?
This looks like it could go lower.
Yeah, sure does.
Like if it tries to, it looks like it might try to get up and over 318, but I think there's going to be rejection if that happens. I just think it goes lower.
I'm really not seeing anything that I like here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look around at some other things. What does the SPY? Okay, so the SPY kind of flirting with that 545.18 level that I was talking about earlier. Not quite there yet, but very close. We got the low was 545.43, so about 25 cents away. Drama done for the morning? Yeah. You know what, Brittany Tall? I learned a lot from Benzinga. Learned a lot from them. I learned from some other mentors that I had. And then just, time in the market. The more time you spend in this, the clearer certain things become. You start to realize the mistakes that you make and not to make them again. I think, you're going to learn different things from other people, but I think time in the market is time well spent.
It is. Experience is a very, very hard thing to substitute for anything else. And I mean, I have buddies that literally studied, advanced option trading, and they're at the end, their conclusion is, I'm not going to participate in the market. It's rigged. So you can have people on all sides of the aisle. What 13 is talking about here, getting experience and talking to people that have experience, those have always been two of the best resources for me. There's nothing wrong with learning about things either through books or through YouTube videos. Just make sure that, it makes sense. We've talked about plenty of really good trading books on here. We had Brian Shannon, who gave away some of his VWAP books. That's, I know, for a particular indicator, but anything like that can be helpful. The biggest thing for me, the biggest thing over the course of my career is being friendly with people that were gracious with their expertise. Sharing their experience gave me the biggest bang for my buck over any single video or single book. So take that for what it's worth. If you're actually looking for a program, Benzinga does have some programs to help you learn.
Yeah, Sandman was a really big help early on for me.
Sandman, that volume expansion strategy was literally taught to me personally by Sandman. That guy has been trading and day trading for 40 plus years. He's seen a few things. So that's, I mean, like I said, the people that have been in this for multiple decades, there is a wealth of wisdom that they can share with you. And if they're gracious enough to discuss those things, pick their brain.
How do we stop making mistakes? You still make them from time to time. It's just that you got to recognize when you're about to make them and just not do it. And, trade journal would be helpful. Review your trades every day. That's a helpful way to learn where you made the mistake and where you didn't. But it's going to all come back down to just spending time in the market, getting that experience under your belt, and seeing which worked for you and what isn't.
Yeah,
you'll make fewer mistakes if you recognize them when you're about to make them.
Smoked tuna. This is an underrated comment in my opinion. This is a completely underrated comment. I've seen that. I personally have brushed off similar advice like this in the past when I was green, thinking, my time is better used learning about technical formations and different setups and all of this stuff. But smoked tuna is hitting it right on the head here. This is extremely important. The best way to trade is to learn to control your own psychology. Read books about it. Cannot recommend this enough. If you really want to start just one spot, Brett Steenberger's book, The Day Trading Coach, would be a great spot to start. It touches on a lot of the psychological aspects of trading, which are pitfalls that traders of all different types and all different experience levels fall into. The Day Trading Coach, Brett Steenberger. I'd actually like to get my copy signed. Since Brian Shannon has broke the dam and given me my first signed trading book, I'd like to get Brett to sign my Day Trading Coach. Okay. Take a look here. LGVN, someone mentioned this one. This did pop here. LGVN.
Large unexpected draw on crude inventories.
I'll get you that. 3.74 versus the draw of 2.6. Oil went higher on that. Bitcoin also at the highs here, by the way. That is an inverse relationship to what the market is doing. Notable.
Yeah, fear. So good Bitcoin names probably doing well. Look at Maros, CLSK, MSTR, HUT, Wolf, all those good ones. Yeah, looks like those are moving up.
Oh, no.
What's going on?
I accidentally closed one of my tabs in Benzinga Pro that had a whole bunch of settings on it. But thankfully, we've released an undo feature. So I was able to just click on that and not have to rebuild it or load my layout.
You have an answer for Rosalina Matthews about a video to watch about calls and puts, basically options.
Some basic. Well, first of all,
does Anne Marie have a video that she could watch?
Probably not. Anne Marie's strategy is more going to be about multi-leg options trades. I'm not sure if she has basic content. This would be a really good question to ask her, though, because she might have something from her trading book that she wrote a while ago that might be of use that I'm just not familiar with. That's a really good suggestion, though. And actually, on the webinar last night, she said how when she first started doing this, she wasn't very good at it. And it was the learning process that turned her into a professional. Anyone can do that, by the way. We do have an options school, though, Rosalina. So I don't know how much you're actually trying to dive into this, but if you really do like options, we have an options school that teaches you a lot of the fundamentals on how to trade these, what the Greeks mean, how to read them, how to interpret some of these different trades. So we actually do have a subscription for that's paid. If you're looking to start with free resources, there are a couple that you can really start off. In fact, let me go ahead and get you and sorry if I'm just kind of leaving a stock up here real quick. Let me see if there's any other stocks that the group is mentioning that I can at least put on for a visual aid. Cost is popping here. I guess that's one. Let me get you a link here to the Options Industry Council. This is going to be a free resource. I still use this all of the time. I'm going to go ahead and throw this here in the chat. This is going to be a good way for you to start learning about some of the basics of options without having to spend any money. That way you can kind of get a feel to see if this is something that's good for you or if it's going to work for you. And then you can take that deeper dive into it. I use Options Industry Council as a reference a lot of the times. Again, really, really good resource. I would say start there at no cost.
So got some news here that Disneyland and the Workers Union Committee have reached a tentative agreement. This is a little bit later. Apparently it came out in pre-market. But it's averting the strike for now, and it features significant wage increases. Disney down on that news, apparently because they're anticipating that the operating costs of this business are going to now be higher. So let's see what happens there. And remember, this is not a done deal. So there could still be a strike if things do not work out. And apparently there's been an investor that's dumped all their Disney shares, citing lack of confidence in leadership.
Yeah, thinking about it, you were mentioning this earlier. Is this what you were referring to? I think, yeah. We actually took a look at Disney in the pre-market here, right around the open.
Yeah. Oh, if you're thinking about it, if you put in there, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Actually, SMB Capital, Amanda here, another good recommendation. SMB Capital videos on YouTube. Those are very good. I've used some of those myself. We've worked with SMB Capital in the past as well here at Benzinga. Really good mention there. And love to see our chat helping out fellow chatters. That's exactly the type of environment that we're trying to build here. 13 and I are both very, very big on that. One of the reasons why we get along and help each other so often is because this is part of like our ethos. So love to see you guys with helpful suggestions like that. Remember, folks, no matter for all you lurkers that might be out there, there are no dumb questions here on this channel. Just because you see people talking about multi-leg options and VWAP and stuff that you might not have even heard of, there is no bad questions here. So don't ever worry about that.
Yeah, SPY looked like it was getting a temporary bounce. It still looks like it might be heading lower, maybe even making new lows. I want to see that 545.18 level get tested, and we didn't quite get there yet.
Jay Harris trying out a joke on us, 13. Let me know what you think. Ryan and 13, you two are so fresh, they call you guys the Febreze brothers. I'm going to put that in the compliment column here this morning, Jay Harris. I'm still processing it.
Yeah, I have a response to that, but I don't know how you take it.
Who's surprised that 13 had a response drummed up right away? Not me. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
So, like having the discipline to not open your mouth about something that and say it all over the internet is kind of in line with the same kind of discipline you'd need to not get into trades that don't look very good and you want to try to force. Same principle. Just don't do it.
The Breeze Brothers. I actually thought it was kind of funny.
All right. Well, I'm still waiting for that move in EYPT to go down. Let's see where that's headed. EYPT, we've talked about this one before. This one got absolutely hammered.
Where is that at? I actually just talked about this one last night. What are we doing here in EYPT? We coming back in? No. So sorry.
No, I'm still waiting for that rejection at the 50-day SMA. That's what I'd like to see.
So what I'm thinking, looking at this here, I understand the volume's low. We really haven't done a whole lot here today, but I'm actually viewing just the information that I see on my screen here positively. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking at a lot of other stocks getting slashed and really traded down. EYPT just holding in here. And if you look on the daily chart, it might be difficult to see on this particular daily chart, but if you look on the daily chart, we actually recently curled up off a support level. So this is encouraging, at least so far. Day's not over, but it's encouraging so far that we're really not getting blasted here in EYPT.
Yep. Oil been perfect today. And also getting a mention on
Born. What are you trading? First of all, Born, I saw you say good morning, degenerates earlier, laughed at it, but don't think I said good morning back to you, which is rude of me. I apologize. How are you doing here this morning? What oil names are you trading?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm looking at the XIII and that thing looks kind of flat to me. It's whipped around, so it's had some trading opportunities, but right now it's just pretty much near the open. COP, CBX, XOM, so strong oil retailers. They all look kind of sideways, don't they? CBX.
I'm like trying to dig something up here that looks interesting. I am struggling.
I guess when it comes to like a company like CBX, it's had 3 big red days in a row. And it's down at its 200-day SMA. This would be a good bounce spot. Not saying that that's going to reverse and go on to make new highs, but that's a great bounce spot.
Tesla down 12.5% now, 215, but broke beneath that 216 level. Let's wait for that weakness to filter out in Tesla before we're looking for some longs there.
Well, it did get support from the 500-day SMA.
Calm. We talked about CalMan a little bit earlier. That is still ripping, man. This went even higher here. Did we have Tyson earnings today? Did I see that this morning? Let me see.
Calm is anything but.
No, we did not. Sorry. Actually, take a look and see what that earnings print is here. 12 days, August 5th. For Tyson, Calm ripping here. Did we have any news on Calm? Then maybe I missed here. Let me check real quick. 4.5% here for Calm. They reported earnings here this morning, beat on the top and the bottom line. Beats revenue for Q4. Judd Stevens is now the vice president of ops over at Calm. So that's your catalyst there on Calm. That is moving higher here post earnings. Looking like we're testing the high area from 7/17. So July 17th, high area being tested here.
I guess organic egg products are coming into focus. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Well, the earnings are good here.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like there's a little bit of a, well, maybe not too much. I'm going to say this: the short interest seems a little bit high, not too high. It's under 10. So the days of cover is down at 2. So not really much of a squeeze candidate.
AVTR trading up today on news that it's joining the S&P mid cap. That's a Vantor. Spiro Bill asking, I hear some people predicting Biden will resign tonight. I've not heard any of that. If this did happen, how would it affect the markets? I understand it's unlikely and just strictly a rumor here. The way that I'm looking at all, there's a lot of stuff going on back and forth here. And the way I'm just kind of grouping all of this and compartmentalizing it is that anything that is going to add uncertainty to what's going to happen later this year, I think is probably a net negative for the market until we can see otherwise. I would just say on a trading note here, I would not try to front run any of those rumors. We've seen a lot of rumors not be true. And I think you could come up with a better trading plan than that. But generally speaking, just to kind of directly answer your question, more uncertainty likely means lower market, especially if we're in a downtrend. That's kind of how I would look at that.
Just looking at what the chat was mentioning, IREN, IREN. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what it's. Okay, so it's moving up on, I guess, a buy rating. Price target increased to 15, and they announced that they secured more power capacity for its Childers site.
This at the just beneath that 11 level here on IREN.
Data center play. So
yeah, we talked about this one. They had a huge move on the back of that.
Data center, Bitcoin. Where is this thing at right now?
Apple new lows here. Also seeing more puts flow in here. Multiple strikes on Apple. 205, 215, 220 on those puts as that continues to roll lower here. Disney calls I'm seeing getting bought, but those are small.
IREN. This could be interesting if it holds its 50-day SMA. This is definitely one I think we should be paying attention to if we're into the data center theme. I think this is worth watching. You need to see that 50-day SMA hold up.
Stay focused. Good morning. Ryan, is CMG a short at the day's top? I'll be honest. So here, let's take a look. Here's your intraday chart here, your 1 minute on CMG. This thing has been incredibly weak. I guess we should have started with the daily. That was stupid. What's wrong?
CMG below the 200 SMA.
Yeah. So here's my thought here on Chipotle. I, at this point, don't feel great about this earnings. I want this earnings print to be out of the way here. So are you talking about day trade shorting at the top of the highs here today? I could absolutely see that as being a viable trade. We have been in a clear downtrend. We have sold off into this earnings print. So if it trades up here today and it finds a little bit of resistance, yeah, I could absolutely see a potential short being there. But I would not want to hold that short into the print. I'm thinking that if the stock's pretty beaten down going into the print and at a support level, maybe that bar is a little bit lowered and maybe the market treats it differently after that report.
Great mention on news, guys. I see Market Sniper and Smoke Tuna mentioning that, and it just had a big move through some previous levels.
And it's setting up to go through that VWAP. We'll see if we end up getting that here on news.
But yeah, CMG beneath its 200-day SMA. That's not what you want to see if you're bullish. But like you had mentioned, if this could trade under there for a couple of days and pop right back up, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But so far, it doesn't look great. Ooh, and then news is Poland. This thing whipping around actually. Looks like VRPX had a pop to almost to its VWAP, and it came back in, getting some support from the 65 EMA.
News definitely does not have the strength to go through that VWAP. Here is your VRPX chart, also stopping at that VWAP.
Yeah. Any opinion on UPS? Let's see.
So UPS here, this reported earnings and got absolutely smoked on earnings. Looking at it here, we're actually lower today than yesterday's intraday. I get, you know what though, this is close enough where I think we are tried to hold it here. I'd be very, very cautious on a move through VWAP here. To me, I wouldn't be surprised if UPS tested lower.
Yeah, so UPS gave back pretty much everything. It gave back the past 4 years, basically. The past 4 years of after the breakout and gap up in July of 2020, that's all been given back now. So this level here that we're at prior to the it's like basically we're at the pre-pandemic highs from November of 2019. So yeah, I agree. I think this is where it's going to have to hold up because lower does not look better. But this isn't a gauge. This is a gauge on the economy. And we're also curious to see if we get something similar like this with Amazon because they have drivers. They and UPS was citing that the reason for their horrible EPS, the worst that they've ever had, the worst miss they ever had, was because of the significant labor costs. So I'm wondering if we're going to see the same thing with Amazon. Now, Amazon is a more diversified company. They're not just truck drivers. They have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. It's just going to be a segment of them, but still think that we might see some of that labor cost increase transfer into Amazon as well.
Worth noting, Amazon's earnings report is a week from tomorrow after hours, so we're going to be getting that in 8 days here. Turks just broke through its intraday high. This was a great call. You guys were on this a little bit early here on Turks, TIRX.
Thinking would be the biggest head fake this year that be that Donald Trump does not get elected and whoever the other person does. What would that do to stocks, and what would be the benefit in that case, or what stocks would benefit in that case? I'd have to think about that for a little bit because when we're thinking, the market has been kind of pricing in a Trump presidency with the how well oil was doing previously. Rate cuts, not just because we're getting good CPI reports and the Fed's leaning towards that, but also because he's been saying that, under his administration, he wants to ensure that rates are low. There's also tax reform. So I think the biggest selling points to his presidency that are going to affect the stocks, those basket of stocks, those would be the ones I think would turn bearish. Like I said, I need to do some more research on that because I really don't have a great answer for you, and I'm sorry that I don't.
Yeah, I would think anything that looks like government spending is going to flow into it, like clean tech, clean energy, that is almost certainly going to be on there. Some of these bigger, big business companies, those will definitely be in favor. But that's as we get closer to the election, we can actually come up with different cohorts of different types of stocks that we can take a look at. And then furthermore, I think the next step there would be to set levels in case we do get that reaction, those stocks come into those levels.
All right. Let me take a look at one other thing here because I've been watching Disney to see how that fares. Didn't lose 90 yet. I think it bears worth paying attention to what Disney does today and tomorrow.
Turk's continuing to go here.
I thought I had that one on my list. I guess I don't. That's TIRX.
Yeah, TIRX.
Oh, China Pump? This doesn't have any news, does it?
TIRX.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just looking at the intraday chart here. Let me pull it up, though. I think I actually had it up here recently. Give me one sec. No, this was Tuesday, July 23rd. This was yesterday, regained compliance with NASDAQ's periodic filing requirement. So that's what you got yesterday there.
Yeah, Lynn Williams has a great comment here. Trump's not dead set against EV.
Yeah, he's not.
It's because, you got to think back during his administration. That's when EVs actually were doing much better. But rates were also lower too. So if we do have a low rate environment under his administration, then that would be great for EVs. That it would be great for EVs, yeah, and solar, and small caps.
And I think that's one of the reasons where you're seeing the move in IWM. Oh, interesting. We talked a little bit about Netflix earlier being one of the stronger tech names relatively. This actually has reversed now and come back to the VWAP.
The other lady. Okay, NIVF, that one's trying to still push up to VWAP, but man, like much of these things that we were looking at this morning, weak. And, there's a good point brought up yesterday during happy hour. We're probably not going to see a lot of rotation out of stocks or the market, but there's going to be rotation among others. So money's not necessarily going to be leaving the market,
just moving into other names,
not necessarily entering it either, unless they're the inflows that we get on the beginning and middle of the month. That would be the only money coming in for a little bit, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be any exits or new entries, just rotations. KMX getting a mention.
Yeah, this is still kind of dried up here. Market continuing to move to the lows here. Man, SPY has been weak all day. All day.
Oh, it's been strong all year.
Yeah, that's a good point. Excellent retort.
All right, what is the lows here in SPY today? We get our test of 545.18. Almost. Came within 9 cents, it looks like. Maybe we'll get it here in this current candle. Glenn D saying, put CMG, put the 50 SMA on the weekly and then look left. So we're going to go into some deeper time frames, which I do like. Okay, so that one's...
Sorry. Let me just answer the question. Jay, we are done here at 11 a.m. It's going to be Zunaid with Futures Fever right after that, but we are finished up here today.
Yeah, so CMG for that 50-week SMA, that's down at 50.30. So just maybe just do a round number, say 50 is where you're thinking this thing's headed. I think I was looking for more downside towards, I guess 50 looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. I like it. We'll see if that's what we get.
I'm excited. And actually, before we turn this over to Zunaid for Futures Fevers, let's ask him what he thinks about Chipotle. I mean, dude's out here putting away 4 burritos a week. He might single-handedly be boosting his earnings. We might as well get his opinion and have some more educated information for it. Futures Fever, a Spike Lee joint. LOL.
If it's looking like a hard landing, at what point do you think the market will start to price that in? I want to say almost immediately, but you know, the whole market's kind of been wishy-washy. So I'm not sure that I know exactly where we could pinpoint that if it does look like it's a hard landing. And at this point, it doesn't seem like there is going to be a hard landing. So I don't think that's what anybody's thinking about right now. But if it started to look that way, then and the sentiment really changes quickly, then I think you might start to see that reaction happen almost immediately. It'd be like a knee-jerk reaction. That's just, you know, because the market's uppity. You know, so if things aren't going its way, it's going to have these big reactions, these outsized moves. And if something like that happened to where the narrative changed from going from a soft landing or an easy landing to suddenly a hard landing, well, I think the market would react kind of immediately. I just don't know exactly where they would start going. Maybe they go right back into all the Mag 7 where it's safe. Where those companies are been doing well and have tons of cash that's sitting in their bank accounts earning 5%. I guess I would say the Mag 7 is where they would probably end up going back into to be safe. And if not, then it would make sense to me. And if not, then it would be more of the traditional defensive names like the industrial sector defensives, and utilities, things that are have a guaranteed income stream because they're so necessary to human life. So electrical power, water, utilities, things like that.
Real good stuff here. All right. Again, just a couple of minutes. We're going to be going over to futures fever. Things do seem to be kind of slowing down here even more. Even that market sell-off, it's still low, but it's kind of holding out here near the bottom.
Yeah, I wonder. And then we have GDP tomorrow in the morning. Let's see what else we got for earnings, because these this week and next week we're going to have a lot of big earnings and economic events, and then also next week, toward the middle of next week, we're going to get the next rate decision.
I'm seeing a news headline here. Sharks off the coast of Brazil test positive for cocaine. That is about the most terrifying thing I've heard.
Oh my gosh. It's a sequel to Cocaine Bear, Cocaine Shark.
Is that a net positive for AMC? Sorry, had to. Stay focused, saying short working nicely. Stay focused. You were all over that plan. Really good stuff here. Nice job executing. Chipotle at its lows here. Speaking of Chipotle, hi Zunaid.
What is going on? And I actually have Chipotle in the fridge right now. I will eat that at around 2:00. So yeah, I guess, is it insider trading if I'm buying a bunch of Chipotle for meals and buying the stock as well? I don't know.
So Chipotle to spike around 2:00.
Yes, because that's how much money I have.
So first of all, lunch at 2, just as kind of a general question there. It must be schedule related because it's an odd time for lunch.
It's also Invisalign related because I don't want to deal with removing them, cleaning them, eating, and then I don't know, whatever. But yeah.
Okay. I don't think you had to do a filing for the burrito that you purchased and ate, so I think you're probably okay. So I don't think you're insider trading here at all.
I purchased two bowls at a time because half of it is for lunch, half of it is for dinner, and then the next day I'm not driving again. I'm lazy, and then rinse and repeat. So there you go.
Okay. Do you get the extra tortilla as well?
Are you saying that because I'm Indian and you think I love tortillas? No, I'm kidding.
Of course not. What kind of question is that?
No, I don't. But no, on a serious note though, let me go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of people get the bowl and then get an extra tortilla there. But Zunaid, enough about Chipotle. What do you got coming up here on Futures Fever, dude?
Well, I'm going to talk about Chipotle real quick. Just this time though, on the stock side, we mentioned how 52 is when I'd start kind of chipping away and start building a position long term. Keep in mind you do have earnings. So say if you were going to purchase 100 shares, I would maybe purchase 50 today and then 50 afterwards. That way you kind of get involved with 50 shares, 50% of whatever position you would want in case it spikes up. And you also can go ahead and average down if it does go ahead and seek down, assuming the fundamentals are still solid for you. So right around there is where it is. I will trade this around $50, but who knows what the earnings are going to do to the chart in itself. This is hilarious. Z, who is the Hindu god of tortillas? That's hilarious. One, I'm Muslim, but two, that's a funny joke anyway. But all right, Ryan 13. It's always a crazy transition. I think that's one of the edgy ones.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we're out here to have some fun, Zunaid, and I think I speak for 13 on this. We are always happy to interact with people that can take and make jokes. So
sure.
keep it up,
For sure.
Zunaid. Keep
Appreciate
it up
it.
and keep
Appreciate
up the good work.
Always. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. Absolutely. You guys have a good one. 13, Ryan out. I am. Whoa, that is a big old face of mine. Yeah, what is happening? Okay, we'll just let Ryan fix that. There we go. Thank you, sir. Let me. All right, we're good here. So, here's how things are going to go. I want to go ahead and talk about what Apex is, and then we'll talk about stocks, trading, futures, all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and make a quick little intro. Apex, who is the sponsor of the show, it is Apex Trader Funding. They currently have 80% off of evals. You can use a link in the description. You can go ahead and use the promo code Beaver if you would like. What they pretty much do is they go ahead and they're an eval company. So you get a chance. So for example, I have $50,000 accounts. I'll show you that here in a moment. And I pay approximately $40 to get the eval opportunity. Once I get to my target of $3,000 in profits, I then get what's called a funded account where I have $50,000 account, but don't worry about the $50,000. It's $2,500 of a drawdown that is available. So you pass the eval, that's $50 you spent. To get the funded account, you spend another $150, call it $200 even. You get the drawdown of $2,500 for spending $200. Then you're able to trade and try to make money. And if you do succeed and you follow their rules properly, you don't just try to, swing for the fences and do something crazy and roll the dice. You go ahead and get a chance to get paid out. So that's what it is. Again, ATF, promo code Fever, 80% off right now for the next week or so. But let's go ahead and see what's happening in the land of futures. I'm actually going to go to ES because we drew some lines beforehand. And I promise you, this wasn't drawn after the fact. This was drawn before the last time I think I was on a show with y'all last Wednesday, which, by the way, we took some trades and we made some money as well. So here's what we got on the ES. We talked about how this was going to be, an interesting line in terms of support, resistance, held up a support, continued moving. Then when it broke, obviously, then the support turned into resistance, which you can see with this right over here. I think this was at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. I definitely was not awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. And you had it hit resistance and it came all the way back down. Then you move left and you had this area act as support and you had a nice little bounce, came right back up. What is this? 9:30 in the morning. I was awake at 9:30 in the morning. You crack, you retest on the 15, and you just continue bleeding. So then the question becomes, well, where is the next trading opportunity for us? I will not take a trade until we get to about the 55.04. So about 55.04, I'll get a contract. 55.01, I'll get another contract, and I will risk approximately 10 points. That is on the ES. Do we get there today? I don't know. We will find out. So what I'm going to do is right about here. I'm going to put in an order to purchase one, risk about 250 to make about 250. Why is that happening? Don't tell me that they're acting up. What's going on here? Whoa, all types of craziness. Try that one more time. Stop loss. Yeah, whatever. All right, cool. Our order is in. We will see how it plays out if we go ahead and get there. Let's go ahead and move on to the NQ. This line obviously wasn't as clean as we would have liked. Interesting one here. You dipped, you had a retest, and it came all the way down. So then and by the way, we did fill a gap here as well. Let's see now where the next entry point for me would be. Nah. I'm actually not sure. I don't really like anything too much on this side of town, on the NQ, to really place a trade. Yeah. Let me also actually let me take care of something here. We go down. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, not really sure what I want to do on the NQ, so I'm just going to kind of leave it alone. We already have a trade ready to go. If it does, ooh, are we close to getting... We're about 5 points away. We might just get that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and risk about that. I'm going to risk a total of 1,000 on this trade. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to then come here, do that, move that here. All right, cool. So we got a couple of trades in. We'll see if they go ahead and get us filled or not. And then we will go ahead and get there. Give me a second. All right. All right, cool. Let me know if there are other tickers that you guys want to take a look at. Let's see what CL is doing. $76 seems to be support for quite some time. Apple. All right, I'll take a look at Apple here in a moment. All right, we have our trades ready to go. We're just going to wait till they get pinged, and then once they do, we will act on them. But till then, let's go ahead and check out Apple. Ooh, it's hitting some type of support that we drew. All right, so the reason that we drew this, as you can see, you had on Apple, ticker AAPL, you had resistance, popped up, held as support. Now the question is, what are we going to do? So if you were going to place a trade here, let's see. I would probably risk about $1. If it broke 218, I would get out. So 1-to-1 trade. 218, get out. Right before 220, I would go ahead and take my profits on ticker AAPL. AMD cracked 150. Uh-oh. On AMD, if you get a retest back of this 150, I would probably go short with a stop loss of $1 above 151. But you got to get the retest around like this 149.90s or so on ticker AAPL. Disney, Disney, Disney. Boy. Just horrendous. This stock was at what, 150s or so back in the day? Oh, maybe more. Oh, it was at 200s. My apologies. Disney, I did not know you were all the way up here. I remember during COVID, I had around 149, and I had to unfortunately sell it around 90s. Went all the way to 80s and then jumped right back up. We are almost back at, let's see here. It went up all the way about 50%. Yeah, we are almost $10 away from the COVID lows on Disney, which is insane to think about. All right, let's see how close we are to getting filled. Oh, we're not. We are still far, far away. By the way, do y'all have any favorite future traders? It doesn't matter if they're with Apex or if they just trade futures on their own. Let me know. Would love to reach out to them and get them on the show. I've got a guest lined up for next week, so that's exciting. That is the beauty of it. But of course, if it, cracks, here, let me just set my alert so I know if I'm wrong. I'm obviously not taking a trade because I'm trading futures at the moment. But if it hits that line, then I know I was wrong and I lose $1 theoretically. And I probably would have gone in with about 150 shares, give or take, right? So risk about 150 to make 150. That's how we rock. By the way, I know I've been talking about a trading competition. Let me see if I've gotten any emails from the lawyers. Look, I can't show you the company name just yet, but what I can show you is this. Oh, hello. That's my face. All right. This is the last email that the broker sent us, where their IT team is testing the registration and making sure that everything is good to go. And then on Friday, July 26th is when we expect to go live with the landing page, which means the week after we are going to have our show. Matter of fact, we actually do have another show confirmed. It's with Story Trading. It's going to be Ben from Story Trading. If you guys aren't familiar, you can go to storytrading.com. And he's going to go ahead and have a 30-minute show for himself on Thursdays. So you can expect more trading action, different catalysts, different styles of tradings from him. And then I will also actually have another 30 minutes of my own show with the broker that we're, waiting to get the green light from. So a lot of exciting content coming up, different individuals on the show to give us different insights and different styles of trading as well. So fun stuff ahead. I'm still hopefully going to put together kind of like a little newsletter or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Newsletter or Twitter or both? What would be beneficial? Because I don't know how many people really check a newsletter, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think Twitter might be the way. But I don't know. I gotta set aside time on my calendar to be like, hey, I'm going to scan stocks, post my thesis on Twitter, and I'm done looking at it because I am so consumed on social media, especially in this political climate. Like, I don't care who you're voting for or what your thought process is and values and principles and beliefs. Boy, it is exhausting on Twitter. So I'm trying to take a break from social media as much as I can. Where's my trade? Oh, there it is. Can I take a look at oil futures? Yeah, CL. I think we took a look at it earlier. Let me go ahead and do it again. 76 is kind of where I would start nibbling a little bit. But I don't have, anything too like, oh my God, you got to get in. I'm just curious how this trend line did play out. Yeah, it wasn't as clean after the first couple of bounces on the resistance side. Yeah, I don't think I have anything outside of 76. Stop loss should be about 75.50 or so. You've got that. I think this kind of got invalidated, right? Yeah. So that's what I've got on the futures. Trend line, obviously, to the downside. 76, if it holds up as support. Maybe what it does is kind of... Do we have a painting brush thing on here? How do I... Is there like a paintbrush thing? I don't know if there's a paintbrush situation. Or am I just blind? I don't know if this is it, but maybe if it goes... Yeah, it's not it. Dang it. What I'm saying is if it kind of goes up and down here and tries to break, that's maybe what you can expect. But 76 is what I've got. What's up, Tesla? 225 printed hard as hell. Well, not just that. This was my cute little drawing. And the 250 yesterday was beautiful for the rejection. Crack, rejected. Up, rejected. Oh, that's right, Luke. You had yeah, I think you and I had talked about, well, it was your idea, it wasn't mine. Let me not confuse anybody. You had mentioned that you were getting like 225 puts, but you were just good if you went to 230s. And I think my confusion was, I thought you were expecting that yet last week, but you corrected me and you said no, it's for this week. So, dude, that's awesome. Hope you made some good money on that, man. Good trade. I don't know if it was a YOLO for you or if there was, spreads involved or what the case was, but either way, pal, good trade. Glad it worked out for you. Folks, we are still waiting to get filled, and I am not going to chase. I am not going to chase just to put on a trade. I like the idea that I have. We're about 2 points away from getting filled. We've got two orders out there on the limit. One here is at 5504.75 and the other is at 5500. Straight no chaser. Love it. Does anyone here use Polymarket? I'm just curious. It's not legal in the US, just heads up. But come on, just a couple more points till I get filled. Isn't that great? When it comes down like this, find support. And then that support turns into resistance. Just whoop-ah! Oh. Apple hasn't hit what our stop loss would have been just yet. Yo, Hood really needs to turn things around. Hood's kind of upsetting me. I'm not gonna lie. When does Hood report? I think they report like in August, don't they? August 7th. All right, we're filled on the ES trade of ours. Now we see what happens. So let's set up this trade here and let's talk about why we took it and how it can play out. Again, to retell the chat, this is not fake money. This is not real money. It's with a funded account with Apex, which is a sponsor of this show. Here's how it works for this trade. The reason that I took it is because if we go to the 4-hour, you'll notice that here, I don't know, man, this thing is so weird, bro. If we go to the 4-hour, you'll see you had resistance, popped up, held a support, held a support, held a support. Now I'm kind of wanting the same thing, but the more you knock on support, the more you knock on resistance, the more you're eating up the orders on a level 2, and the odds are that it'll continue going that way the more you knock on it. So that's what I'm afraid of, is it's going to come down and continue knocking. We're just going to break, and I'm not going to get a chance to get filled. Now my limit price on this is 55.0950, right? So that's my first limit price on it. I am currently in at 55.0475. My next fill on the buy will be 5500s. Stop loss for me, in case I'm wrong, is 54.9450. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to not touch it. It is what it is. We'll see what's up. But that is the reason that I took the trade. That is the reason we are in the trade. And that is the reason that I'm comfortable putting this on. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. You're talking about this gap, Christopher? You're talking about this gap right here. Yeah, matter of fact, I thought I had a gap. There it is. That is the gap. AMZN, so basically Amazon here. Amazon reports in August as well. August 1st. What a way to kick that off. Uh-oh. It is not looking pretty. Do we get filled on our second set? All right, we just got filled on our second and last buy. Now we are in with 2 contracts on the ES with an average price of 55.0275. Our first take profit is going to be 55.0550. I'm going to leave it alone. Let it do whatever it wants to do. I would say I don't want to look at it, but we're doing a live trading show, so we are going to kind of have to look at it. We were just up about 70, 80 bucks. I'm not touching it. The only thing I want to do is, instead of having the sell order be at 55.0550, I want to have it at like 55.0450 That might be the only thing I do just to get it underneath the whole number situation. All right, well, I didn't need to do that, so we're good. All right, we got that order filled. We're up 100 and... Wait, what's my closed? I don't know. Hang on. Oops. All right. Now the question is going to be, do I move this to break even or no? No, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. If it comes up and it tags 5509.50, great. We are in the money. We just made, you know, I think we will make about $500 if this gets taken off here on the limit. But for now, we took two buys, made money on one of them. The other one is still TBD. Oh, you know what it did? The first one that we purchased at 5504s, it sold at 5505, which is why it says, oh, you only made $150. And then the one that we purchased at, I see what they're doing. I see what's happening. Okay. Either way, I'm gonna leave it alone. We'll see how things work out. Now, if this is popping, right? Not popping. It's not. Let me not make it seem like we're ripping. If this is looking to bounce, then I'm curious what Apple's doing. And Apple is also looking to bounce. Remember we said you would purchase it around 218.90s. Stop loss would be the break of 218s, which is why I have a alert set right over there. But come on. Come on, baby. Where is VWAP? Where is VWAP? Boy, wouldn't it be nice if I had enough patience to have it go from here to here? That would be 30 points for your boy. And those 30 points, oops, would be $1,500. But I don't have the patience. No, I don't. Come on. Come on, market. Just give me 4 more points. Oh, see, this is the I don't want to say downside, but this is part of trading where you're like, oh, I'm up $300. I should take it. And then you see that $300 turn into like 187. You're like, oh no, I should take that profit. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. See, Jay wants me to close it early. You meaning like close it right now or like, you know, wait till my targets? I'm going to leave it. If I lose money on this trade, just take the 300. Ooh, Jay's telling me to just take the 300. You know what? The show is about to end. All right. Took the gains. We're out. 30 minutes of trading with y'all. Made about $243, as you can see right there. And, you know, solid trading day. Can't complain. Now I go back to my day job. But the message that I want you guys to understand here is that I did not chase. No matter how much I wanted to get in the action, no matter how much I wanted to get in on the trade, I waited. And I didn't just buy 2 contracts right at one spot. I kind of scaled in. I had a game plan. I was ready to lose the money if it went against me. And I hope you understand why we took the trade. You had resistance, which turned into support. You also had the whole number of 5,500. What a solid level that is. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned a little bit there. Again, that is Futures Fever. Shout out Apex. Check them out. ATF. Use the link in the chat. Use the QR code. If anything, use the promo code Fever, F-E-V-E-R. It obviously helps Benzinga out. It lets them know that, you know, we're sending business their way. And what I'll always say is be mindful of how much you're spending, not just in trading, but just, you know, anywhere. And kind of manage your risk in all aspects of life. A lot of content coming. We already have one new show with story trading coming up next week. And I'm hoping to have my show with a broker where we will trade options, stocks, you name it. I will be trading them. Sometimes I'll even hop on live trading with Ryan and 13 and kick it with the gang. So a lot of fun times ahead. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we will see y'all later. Bye.